Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you this lovely bracelet. So I'm getting ready to attach these shells and this cabochon to this bracelet design. So these shells, this was the inspiration for this whole bracelet, were these shells that I got in the Curiosity box #1 from John Bead. Let me adjust the camera here, sorry. And these are stunning. I just love the detail in these. And I love the fact that the holes go from end to end, so you can attach them to things really nice. Or if you want to do a strung bracelet, you can put some beads and you're going to see your whole shell. So just lovely. Um, yeah, so let me just show you the bottom side quickly, and if people are interested, I can show you how to do these lovely, the idea was that it was inside a coral reef, so these kind of like a plant inside the coral reef, kind of moving with the waves of the water, and multiple layers of different really gorgeous colors. So that's the idea that came from that. So I used some stiff felt on the bottom, and it's very basic. What I did was I took a strand of beads that I was going to be using, so either these gold ones or the inside the turquoise ones. I did 2 layers. You can start with whichever one you want, so you can take a strand of the blue ones and then kind of roughly put it around the shape of the shell to give you an idea of how many beads you need to start a kind of peyote bezel. And that's all I did. Now I did that with the gold beads to attach to the bottom, and then I started the blue ones for the inside, and then once that was done, and I attached the shell through the hole, so you can see there's the hole. Attached the shell, and then I did the outside part. So again, starting from the gold beads. So the gold beads, these are 15 O's, were attached to, and then I also attached it to the felt. I should mention that. So you can do like a peyote bezel for whatever shape you have, whether it's a round, oval, awkward shape like this, is you can just bezel around using your felt. So adding 4 beads, then do 2, passing through again, that kind of thing. I don't like doing that way. I find that when I get to the end, if it's really tight and I have an odd number, I find that I don't know, maybe I'm not skilled enough, but I like it to be even so that I can start my peyote stitch of the other beads. So I just go ahead and do my own loop of an even number. So I think it was 40 beads for this. It might have been, yeah, 40, I think, because I think on the second one you can kind of see it's a bit, I forgot to like write down how many beads I started with on this one. So this was my second one, and I think I did 50 on the second one, and you can kind of see this one's really snug around, and this one has a bit of space. They both look wonderful, and they'll both look wonderful on the bracelet, or on the bracelet. So yeah, if you're interested, I can do a video of that. I'll make sure I get the correct amount. And then I basically did the same. I had this beautiful oval mermaid cabochon. I think it's, I don't know what you call that, like a plastic or polymer clay type thing. You can get these at most bead stores. And so I just measured my beads around the oval. I started with, you can kind of see the gold beads in there at the base. Oh, there, you can see it. I was actually going to do another round, so you can see they're sticking out because I was going to do a round coming up this way, but once I found these flowers in my stash, let's see if I can show them to you. And let me get a needle here so you can see these lovely flowers. It just went really well with the color of everything. So yeah, I forgot that so I think it just looks perfect that way. Sometimes you have an idea and you're going to do a lot more. And when you get to a certain point, you're like, nope, that's it. I need to stop while I'm at it. And I didn't glue this in so I could show you. We're going to attach everything to the bracelet. And then I'm going to glue this in because this way I can use this whole surface to reinforce going through the beads. So, and then I took these lovely lampwork beads that we got in our curiosity box as well. There was 4 of them in there, so these go perfect. I'm going to attach them to each side with some of these, the same matte gold beads. So let's see what we can get done. The exciting part about using these accent conch shell beads is there was leftovers. So we're going to make another bracelet with that. So let me move this stuff aside. So I left tails of thread on everything. Let me move that one out of the way. So I think we should start with the middle one, put it in the center, and I think the best way, simplest way to do that is find your midpoint, probably somewhere in there. So just something like that, and take a look. If you want to measure it with a ruler, you can. I tend not to. When it's on your wrist, nobody's going to notice. It's a little more organic. I'm just going to find the end here so I can start sewing this in. And get my needle. There we go. So now, let me see where this is coming through. This is on this end here. So I'm just going to hold it with my fingers together. So it's kind of off to the middle. This part here is kind of your, figuring out where you want to put things. So I'm just going to go through this bead here. I think what I'll do is I'll tack it down in a few spots and then get a little more detailed in how I'm attaching it. So let's go through the felt close to where it's coming out. That. I'm going to bring the camera down. I'm like really reaching here. There. That's better. Okay, so there's one. And I kind of want to make sure it's centered this way. So I think what I'm going to do is just poke my needle through and then I'll find the bead that's closest on the other side. That might be easier than trying to go in between the work. So something like that. Let's flip it over and there you can see where it is. I am going to move these out of the way. They're already starting to fly all over the place. Okay, so in case you're wondering, I don't usually do videos like this. It's awkward attaching things because you need to kind of look up close and you need to keep readjusting for the measurements and stuff. But I thought this is such a lovely bracelet that I was making. I wanted you guys to see kind of the in-process making of it. And just double checking to make sure it's where I want it. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, grab my thread. Sometimes it's boring for you guys too, so that's why. Do it this way. Because a lot of times what happens is I'm thinking, okay, where do I need to come through and where do I need to add this? And, you know, so there's not a lot of talking going on. So let me come back down a bit. Getting too close to the edge there. Yeah, let's go through this one. Like that. And I've got tons of stuff on my desk, so it's just like, oh. And it's getting late in the evening and I'm getting tired too, so there's all my excuses. You have to say, there's no excuses in beading, Emma. Just make sure that this is where I need it to be. It's fun. Okay. So already it's starting to hang on to things. Let's go further here. Okay, this is so frustrating. I despise threads. Yet, I don't know if you saw the last video I was showing my Bezeling box where I have all kinds of designs that I've done. And I leave the threads on because I'm not sure if I'm actually finished it yet. So I'm planning on doing some other. I'm trying to find the right spot. There's quite a gap here. So yeah, it's just a bundle of threads, which is not nice. Yeah, that's better. It's gonna be so beautiful. So for this one too, yeah, like I said, I was gonna do like a fanning of a different color bead on the outside, but it looked really nice just like this. So this, the way to get it to go wavy is as you build out your peyote stitch, it wants to stay at the same level because you're using the same size bead. But when you get further up, what you can do is you can add 2 beads instead of 1 bead, so it makes it bigger. And what I did was I left a space in between, so you can see this. I didn't add any more beads in this area, so I went down through beads that I had already passed through, and then came up here, added 2. I did 2 sets of 2 because this is a bigger space. Otherwise, it would have looked like this one here, where it's kind of a smaller area. So, squirrel. Back to your regularly scheduled video. Okay, so I need to come through here. Let me just make sure that's where I want it. Oh, snap. Okay. Oh, that's way off. I think I'm gonna maybe go through some beads without actually going through the crystals. See if I can do that. So the other thing is you can put some faux leather on the back of your designs, and I have some really beautiful stuff, but this is what I did was I put the stuff behind and I looked at it. You cannot see it. I mean, you can see the difference, the yellow here and the blue, but not much at all. So I thought it wasn't really necessary to finish off the back. So let's go through this one. Okay. There. So you see how it's starting, there's an edge there and there isn't there, so let's do something like that. Let's behave. So that's why you have to keep taking a look at it and seeing where things are going. I think I need to, let's go through that one there, and then we'll make sure we go down lower so that it's, and here's the other thing, look, it's the oval should sit this way. Let me see how that looks with the, yeah, it's off. Do you see how it's not friendship? So let's, probably what I should have done was the four corners and then start weaving. So let me see if I can get in here. Okay. Let's go through this one. And I think I'm using, this feels like a size 12 needle. I do find that this weave, you can do it with a size 8. Oh, this is like way off. But, you know, going through them again is it's awkward. Like, what? Okay, so you know what? I have to tell you, to be honest, I do videos like this sometimes, and it's like, I think when I look at it, I'm like, there's no way I'm putting this video out. But I get a lot of comments that people are really glad that I show my mistakes and the awkwardness of some things. Doing bead weaving, there's some really talented people out there that do the videos and they edit them so you don't even see them pulling the thread through. It's just the needle goes in and then all of a sudden there's this beautiful design. That's not me. So let me just double check my centering here. I guess I could have maybe pinned it or something. You know what? Maybe I'll go through the 11 O's. That might be easier. Keep them in place. Okay. So let's double check. There, that looks centered. There. Oh my goodness. Do you know what? Before I did the clasp, I almost attached this, and for this reason, because I knew the clasp would get all caught. Okay. You know what? Maybe go through a bunch at the back to hide the thread. So normally you're not attaching these things to a bead woven bracelet. So that's the other thing that's making this a little awkward. Can you tell I'm trying to make up excuses? No! Just getting me so annoyed. That's interesting how, see how it's the flowers are, because the flowers should be flat, and I think as I'm bringing the felt in a bit, it's actually popping those flowers out of place. Okay, let's keep going here. I want to be in this corner here, so let's see if we can find a path. There's two, and we'll go through a couple more. Look at that. Sweet. Across to the other side. And double check our placement. That. Let's go through here. Okay, I want to make sure it keeps moving, so this last one is gonna make a difference. Oh yeah, you can see the that seems like we've got it, surprisingly. Yep. So let's go through here. Let's go through a few more just to be sure. So we went for a bike ride this morning. It was really nice. It was interesting. We rode yesterday and the water was like still. So we're getting the tail end of the storm that went through Florida, and it's supposed to hit us by Monday. And so today it was foggy like crazy, which was really nice because it's cold. So we went for a ride and you feel refreshed. It's cold and moist. So, but it'd be interesting to see if we get any. Okay, so I think that is. I don't know how it happened. It's in position. So now let's tie off our thread. So I think I'll tie off my thread the way you do in the embroidery world. What you do is you pass through your work 3 times very close together, and that holds the thread in place, and then you can cut it. So you don't have to put knots like that. And we'll do one more time. There we go. Let me. There's that one. We'll glue it at the end. I was going to say, let's glue it now. You know it'd be all over the place. You're like, no, Emma, do last. I heard you this time. So, these ones should be easier. It should be like a couple of stitches and that's it. We are going to put our lampwork beads. I'm so glad they included these lampwork beads. I just love. They're very expensive because, of course, they're handmade. We're going to put some of the matte beads. So we're going to put these guys on. I think I want the wider base to the top like this. So something like that. So we don't need those. We can put those in later. So let's get this threaded. So I hope everybody's had a wonderful summer. It's been kind of challenging for me because I have a bunch of medical issues going on, and I'm waiting for specialist appointments and okay. But you know what? I want to come through. So my thread's coming out the edge. I want to be a little in a bit. So let's just go to about here. And actually, for this matter, you know what you could do that would be faster? Is take your thread and go through the bead and attach through the bead on both. Yeah. So there's that. But we're going to do it the hard way. Yeah, so I had like medical stuff going on. But I'm surprised I was able to ride yesterday and today. I've been doing like very simple flat rides to not hurt my foot, which I have a tendon tear, and so they're doing construction on the roads where I normally cycle. So I said to my wife, you know what, maybe I'll just do the regular ride that we do together when I'm well, and I'll just take it easy. We'll see how far I get, that kind of thing. And I managed to do the whole ride, so I'm so excited. So I need to see where this, okay. So that'll give me the opportunity to do that. Okay, so now I'm just going through the matte 11/0s. That's a lot easier than going through the crystals. I don't know, I didn't think of that earlier. But that, you know what, this is the first time I've done a bracelet like this, so that's how it goes, right? You figure things out. There. Now if I can find one that's close by, and I can't, so I'm going to have to go through a crystal. I can't, Mommy, fix it. You know what, I'm just going to go through this one, and I'll have to rearrange it. Okay. So let's get that thread in there, and then I'm going to move my needle across my work. And that got tangled here. There we go. Okay. So now we do the bottom part. I'm going to go in a bit, like that. Oh, look at that, right there at this lovely bead. There. It looks very far apart, but when it's bent, it is, but when it's attached, so just pay attention to your placement for that reason. Let me see. Take this over here. And you know what? This kind of stuff I think would be good for a live video, in the sense that we can talk, but it's too bad that, like with live videos, I have to be paying attention to the screen so that I can read the comments and then respond. So if you're wondering, I love doing lives because I love talking to people, but I just find it's really awkward for doing something. So let me know if you have any thoughts on that. If you, like, that looks like it's not in the right position. Like it's, oh yeah, that's way too high. So let's see if we can fix that, or I might have to start all over. I'm wondering if we can loosen and move it down the cheating way. See, I think what happened was because I went to the closest bead. Darn it. I think we have to go through these guys. We might just have to take a few stitches off. Let me use my point of my scissors to get that thread out. Oh, I see the thread down here. That's what I was looking for, the movement. Okay, we're gonna have to cut this off. Darn it, I wanted to show you. I will do a reveal video because this is really not conducive to getting it centered and stuff like that. I'm making shortcuts when I should be paying attention to what I'm doing. Take care, everybody. See you in the next video.